Today we're looking at solving an exponential equation using logs. Now, some exponential equations we don't really need to use logs. For instance, can I just say, if you have 2 to the x equals 8, hopefully you know that 8 is just 2 cubed. So that means x must equal 3. So that's really easy. But what if x is some kind of decimal? That makes it a lot hard to do just by looking at it or trial and error, in which case we need to use logs. For instance, if I have 2 to the x equals 10, I have no idea what power of 2 would equal 10. It'll probably be 3 point something. I just don't know what exactly. So that's where logs come in to be useful. Now, girls, have a look at these first examples at the top. So if I've got a to the x equals b, and I log both sides, which I can do with an equation, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Now look at this. What happened on this side? X just moved to the front using our power law. If you've got log of something to a power, you can just move that power to the front. So I get x times log a equals log b. Now what would you do to solve that? X times anything like 2, if that equals, say, 5, you would just divide both sides by 2. Cancel, x equals 5 on 2. So you know that. So if I'm doing x times this number log a is just a number, whatever a is, I would just divide by log a to get rid of it. So that cancels out with that. But what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So what do I get? X equals log b over log a. And you can just put it into your calculator to find the answer. On this other side, let's say e to the x equals c. Well then, you can just do the natural log of both sides because the base is e. If the base is e, it just makes sense to do the natural log of both sides. If the base over here, let's say, is a, any number in the world, 2, 10, 100, 6, anything, I would probably just use logs, but you can actually use ln. You can use ln all the time if you want to, but you can also use logs. My point is, the important thing, let's make a note. Note. If the base is e, use ln. If the base is something else like this a, use either. It's your choice, okay? Now, so we've got e to the x equals c. We took the natural log of both sides. Now, you can move x to the front and get x ln e equals ln c. But wait a minute, girls, it actually is easier than that. Hopefully you realize that ln and e just cancel out, in which case we go straight to this last line, x equals ln c. So let's have a go and I'll show you what I mean. So we need to solve giving the exact answer. So let's take the log of both sides of this equation here. Again, girls, because the base is a 2 and not e, you can use either one. You can use log or you can use ln. It's your choice. I'm going to use log just to show you it works. If you want, you could do ln and it'll work on your calculator, and I'll show you that in a second actually. So let's take the log of both sides. It becomes log of 2 to the x equals log of 54. What happens then? Oh, the x goes out the front. X log 2 equals log 54. Then we divide by log 2. Divide by log 2. Cancel, x equals. Now, they want the exact answer. So I don't want to put it in my calculator, actually. I need to just leave it as log of 54 over log 2. If they wanted a decimal, I would just put it in my calculator using the log button. Okay, if you had used ln, you would just put it into your calculator using the ln button, and I guarantee you would get the same answer either way. Okay, let's have a go at b. And now, girls, just so you know, because this is the exact answer, even if you had used ln and so written your final answer as ln 54 over ln 2, both of those would be correct. Okay, that's correct if you use logs, and that's correct if you use the natural log. Either one is correct, okay? Okay, next question. Again, you do the log of both sides. Log of 3 to the x equals log of negative 1.4. On this side, we can move to the x to the front. Can't do anything on the other side, so I'm just copying it. Then I need x on my own, so I need to divide both sides by log 3, because remember I'm timesing, and the opposite of times is divide. Cancel, cancel. X equals log of negative 1.4 over log 3. And you're finished. There's nothing really else I can do with that. Even though it's an ugly negative 1.4 inside the log, which is a shame, it doesn't matter. That's actually our exact answer, because the only other thing we can do is put in our calculator, in which case we get a decimal. So we're finished. Now, question 2, I want to solve to 3 decimal places. Now, look at that. We've got a base of e. So what are we going to use? We are going to use ln. So let's take ln of both sides. So it becomes ln e to the x equals ln 6.89. Oh, look, ln and e cancel. So I just get x is ln of 6.89. Notice, girls, if they had asked for the exact answer, I'd leave it like that. But they didn't. They asked it for 3 decimal places. So I'd like you now to put it in your calculator and round it to 3 decimal places. And I got 1.930 to 3 decimal places. Okay, let's try B. Again, it's a base e, so I am going to do the ln of both sides. It's just easier. So ln of e to the 2x equals ln of 84. There should be a bracket. ln and e cancel out, and I get 2x equals ln of 84. But I want x, not 2x, so I need to divide both sides by 2. And x equals 2.215 according to my calculations. Girls, keep in mind, you're not dividing 84 by 2. You're dividing all of log of 84 over 2. So when you put in your calculator, make sure log of 84 is all in your numerator, and then divide it by 2. All right, next one. 5e to the 3x equals 200. Now, girls, I don't want to, let me show you what I don't want to do. Here's my equation. I don't want to do ln yet. I don't want to do the log of both sides because this 5 is in the way. I want it to be e to the something and then ln. I got to get rid of the 5 first. So what can I do to get rid of the 5 out the front? Let me just copy it out. I can divide by 5 first. Cancel, cancel. E to the 3x equals 40. And only now can I do the ln of both sides. So I'll write that out again. So it's the ln of e to the 3x. Equals the ln of 40. As we know, ln and e cancel out, and I get 3x equals ln of 40. Divide both sides by 3. And I get 1.230 to 3 decimal places. Make sure your rounding is correct. Now, girls, I'm not happy that I didn't do a 2 to the x example, so I'm going to make up one more question. 3 to the 4x equals 62. Just made it up. Okay. Now, girls, I want to stress you can do ln or log. I might actually do both to show you that both will work. So first, I am going to take the log of both sides. So log of 3 to the 4x equals log of 62. Oopsie. So what can we do now? We can bring the 4x to the front because the log and the 3 don't cancel out because log is base 10 and the base of the exponential is 3, so they don't cancel each other out because they don't match. But I can bring the 4x to the front. So it's 4x times log of 3 equals log of 62. Now, what am I multiplying x by on this side? I need x to be by itself. I need to divide by the 4 to get rid of this 4. And I also need to divide by the log of 3 to get rid of this. Which means I need to divide both sides by 4 log 3. So I end up getting x equals, now keep in mind when you enter this side into your calculator, make sure you're using the LOG button, log button. So it'll be log 62 divided by 4 times log of 3. Put it in your calculator and see what you get. Now I got 0.939 using my calculator. But now let's see if we get the same answer if we use ln. So that's method 1, we're finished, but I want to show you method 2. So if I use ln instead and do the ln of 3 to the 4x equals the ln of 62. Once again, I have to move the 4x to the front because my invisible base of e does not cancel out with a base of 3. So 4x ln 3 equals ln 62. Again, I need to divide both sides by the 4 to cancel out that 4 and the ln 3 to cancel out that. So I need to divide this by 4 ln 3. And so I get x equals, let's put all that in the calculator using the ln button. Make sure you use the ln button. And hopefully you notice you do also get 0.939. And that's why if the base is not e, you can use either log on both sides or ln on both sides. Either one will be correct, whether it's an exact value answer or a decimal answer. Okay, but if the base is e, use ln because everything cancels out a lot easier.